Well, Bears fans, what can I say? The home opener against the hated rival Green Bay Packers. And let's just say, we looked horrible. Offense looked horrible. Defense looked horrible. Special teams, they looked okay. But at the end of the day, another loss. The 9th straight loss to the Green Bay Packers. And there you have it. I should just cut it off right there because that just tells you everything. Very bad day for football, especially for us Bears fans. So, let's get this thing going. First quarter, second quarter, first half. Conservative play calling. I'm not sure the amount of screen plays that were called, but let's just say no one in the history of the NFL called more screenplays than Luke Getsy, our offensive coordinator. Now, I could see if it worked the first time, second time, even the third time. But instead, our running backs were getting blown up. Khalil Herbert, did not do much. Foreman, I don't know why we have a 6 foot, 230-pound running back that we're trying to throw a pass in the flat to. I don't get it. That was some of the worst play calling I've ever seen. Foreman, when he was running well, north and south, guess what? He was picking up yards. But also, a couple of his runs were called back because of what? Penalties. Last year, the Chicago Bears were one of the least penalized teams. And we start the 2024 season off with multiple penalties in the first half. 2 penalties by our second-year left tackle in Braxton Jones. I'm not sure what he was out there seeing, but dude, this is your second year. You should be able to understand what the play call is and not move. It just makes sense. Now, also, Lucas Patrick. Why does he remind me of Sam Mustipher? He was allowing, I don't know how many Packers players to push him back and disrupt the pocket for Justin Fields in that first half. I don't know if you can see it on my face, but that was one of the worst games a Chicago Bears team has played in a long time. They were lethargic, the energy wasn't there, and the play calling, once again, was just ridiculous. We couldn't get anything going. Tried the screen pass over and over again, and it just didn't work. We're going up against the Packers. We should at least try and test their corners, which are, a couple of newer guys. We should at least try to, the middle of the field with our tight ends. By the way, if any of you will remember, Luke Getsy and Matt Eberflus, our head coach, said that, our tight ends are going to get that work. We got 3 good guys. We're going to put them out there so they can, help out the offense, get across the middle, run up the seam. Instead, we got nothing. I think Cole Kmet, 5 catches, 48 yards, something like that. And most of those came in the second half once the game was already decided. Now, what about DJ Moore? Our number one receiver. We got him, after trading the first round pick for this year's draft. 2 passes for 25 yards for the entire game for our number one receiver. How do you draw that up, Luke Getsy? How? You don't trust your quarterback to get it to his number one receiver. You don't trust this offense to run the running backs up the middle. A travesty. A plain old travesty. Matter of fact, it was an embarrassment. As I remarked to someone while watching the game, why does this look like the Bears of old, where the game just might be, 15-12, 12-9, in another loss or win, which didn't happen, of course. But we really didn't put up much offensive numbers in the first half to even justify some of the plays that he called. Now, getting down into the red zone, go 2 plays back to back. We're going to do sneaks up the middle. Never mind that, we could have ran the football with the running backs that we actually have on the team. But with 4 opportunities on the goal line, we get a penalty. We tried to do a sneak. That didn't work. And then another penalty. So we end up with 3 points when we should have had 7. Now, I'm not sure what the thought process was with that. Where were the tight ends? As I remarked before in one of my videos, we didn't really use the tight ends in the preseason. So this was an opportunity to put on tape, hey, we trust our tight ends to get open, to get the tough yards, and score points. But what happened? Absolutely nothing. That first half was just plain sickening. Not sure what the game plan was. All I can say is that we got issues over the next few weeks. Flying down to Tampa and then flying across the country to Kansas City. It ain't looking good right now, Bears fans. I can tell you that. So, first half, even though it wasn't that bad, 10-6 at half, not much going on. Hey, halftime adjustments, right? Now our head coach, Matt Eberflus, brought with him from the Indianapolis Colts, Alan Williams. Now, Coach Eberflus, he's been talking his hits principle for 2 years now. I don't know what that means anymore. Guys aren't rushing to the ball. There's no team tackling. The zone defense was getting picked apart by Jordan Love, a guy who had only 1 start previous to this game. So, let's talk about that defense. If most of you know, Aaron Jones, the running back from the Green Bay Packers, usually has pretty good games against us. Usually has pretty good games against us. Now, in this offseason, we added 3 free agent defensive ends and 1 free agent defensive tackle. Now, I'm not sure about you guys, but you would think with the veterans on our starting defensive line that, hey, they know a thing or two about getting to the quarterback. They know about stopping the run. And for the most part, against the run, they did pretty good. Now, Yannick Ngakoue, he got his first sack as a Chicago Bear. Unfortunately, that was the only sack that the Bears defense can conjure up. With 1 sack by a defensive line full of veterans, you would think that, after halftime, there would be some adjustments of how you're going to, play the Packers. But what do we get? Same as the first half, not much. Now, running the ball, we held them down fairly well. The only problem is Aaron Jones in the passing game, he got only 2 passes, nothing major, except those 2 passes that he caught went for 86 yards. 86. And the only reason he really didn't play in the second half, because he injured his hamstring off of one of those receptions, scoring a touchdown. Now that is something that Alan Williams, our defensive coordinator, probably should have said, maybe I should do something different. Because Aaron Jones was killing us for most of the game. Now, is this something that we could fix? Absolutely. Is there a ray of light at the end of this tunnel? It's dim, very dim. But I think that this game hopefully served as a wake-up call for Alan Williams, that maybe we should run a little bit more man. The linebackers, especially Tremaine Edmonds, was sideline to sideline. That's a positive. Jack Sanborn out there lending a hand. Now, TJ Edwards, another guy, free agent, just like Tremaine Edmonds, had a couple good plays, but he had a couple plays that did not help our defense at all. Now, we've had preseason, we've had training camp, we even had training camp with the Indianapolis Colts. Now, most of our starters did not play in any of the 3 preseason games. So I would expect them to be a little rusty, but not rusty to the point where no one is wrapping up. Like I say, we brought in a lot of veterans for our defense. And there was no wrapping up. There was just being out of position. Not sure what was going on there, but I tell you, it can't keep happening. That is a definite. It can't keep happening. 2 scores by the Packers. We had guys that were out of position, and the defense made Jordan Love look like an all-pro. Can't say nothing else. They made him look good. And the defense also gave the Green Bay Packers multiple opportunities to convert 3rd and longs. You're not going to be a successful team by allowing that. Not at all. Second half was a little bit more the same, but right about the end of the third quarter, you could tell the defense was gassed. The defense was pretty much just gave up, in my opinion. I mean, it's hard for me to say that, knowing the veterans on that team, Eddie Jackson, Jalen Johnson, guys that should be leading and speaking up to the other players. Now, the energy from that middle of that third quarter on just dropped off considerably. Now, you would expect the head coach to rally that defense, give them a little bit of a little butt chewing, but it was just, hey, just try and do better. And Matt LaFleur, the head coach of the Green Bay Packers, he just pulled out the whipping stick and took it to our defense. And you can't blame him. If the Bears are going to play soft, you might as well take advantage of it. And he did. And yes, you heard me right. The Chicago Bears defense played soft against our number one rival, against a division opponent. We played like we just did not care. This is not a Bears defense that represents this team or this franchise or that city. So I expect in the next game against Tampa a much better effort. If not, you're going to have a fan base ready to burn it down. So let's get back over to the offense in that second half. More of the same, trying to screen passes. Justin Fields running for his life because the pocket is crumbling around him. Chase Claypool, a guy who's in his contract year, looking to stay with the Bears. He actually had 2 targets and missed on both of them. So he ended up 0 receptions and 0 yards. Of course, 0-0. Now, I don't know about you, but I would have been on that sideline screaming at the offensive coordinator saying, at least give me a chance to go deep. Why is he here? The dude's 6'4". We never gave him the chance to challenge any of their corners. We got to do better. Have to do better. Or we're going to get lit. We're not going to score many points, and we're going to look absolutely suspect in these coming games. Now, as I said before, DJ Moore, 2 targets, 25 yards. Not what you expect from this offense, especially in all offseason. I heard, and I'm sure you did, about how well DJ Moore, Justin Fields, that connection right from the get-go. It looked good in the preseason. Touchdowns off a couple screen passes. In real game, it looked absolutely horrendous. So what about Darnell Mooney, our number 3 slot wide receiver? Caught a pass, touchdown, about the one of the few times that we threw the ball deep. Now, I don't know about you guys, but there's this play called the slant. If we try that, maybe we might get some yards, because Green Bay kind of left the open middle of the field for most of the game, but we did not exploit it. We just gave Cole Kmet a huge contract extension. You think we used him? Not much, not until the second half. So, not sure what we were doing, As I said before, during the preseason, we didn't use the tight ends. Not to the point of where we could rely on them, because they would be rusty. right? So I'm expecting, okay, maybe they have some plays drawn up that will allow them to get to where they need to be, over the middle of the field, testing their DBs, or at least going up the seam. Robert Tonyan, that guy, supposed to be pretty good at catching the pass. So why didn't we use him? I have no idea, Bears fans. No idea. Now, Cole Kmet, 5 receptions for 44 yards for the game. 5. I do believe 3 of those came in the fourth quarter, when the game was already decided. Now, I don't know about you, but that can't happen again. This guy is too big to just not use him in the offense. I don't get it, Now, I will say this about our running backs. Khalil Herbert, Dante Foreman, and Roschon Johnson, when they're allowed to actually be running backs, they look pretty decent. Khalil Herbert, 9 for 27, 3-yard average. Roschon Johnson, 5 carries, 20 yards, 4-yard average, and a touchdown late in the game. Dante Foreman, 5 for 16, 3.2-yard average. Now, that's not on paper very good. But if you look at some of the key times that we actually ran them, we did pretty good. It's just that we didn't run them enough. When your quarterback, 9 rushes for 59 yards, our quarterback outran 3 run backs. That's not good. So, what do I expect in the next game? Hopefully, traditional football. Getting back to the fundamentals. Not trying to be all cute with the play calling, but actually playing fundamental football. We have a fullback, lead blocker. Let him do his job. Run the football. What else? How about we actually use the tight ends in short yardage? Big boys. Cole Kmet, 6'5", 260 pounds. I think we can use him to get us a first down. We do have Dante Foreman as well. Big boy running back, 6 foot, 230 pounds. He could get us some short yardage, But we'll have to see. Now, Bears fans, I want to thank you for continuing to rock with me over here at BearsMediaCo. We've hit 50 subscribers. I'm happy about that. I'd love to see more of you get a part of this. So go ahead, hit the subscribe button, hit the like, hit the notification bell, and leave a comment. I know there's some of you out there that got something to say other than the Green Bay Packer fans, because I already had to talk with that guy about they still own us. And you know what? They still do. So with that, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go ahead and cry myself to sleep. And I will see you guys on the next one. But as always, Bears fans, don't give up. Stick with it. And let's see how this season progresses. And with that, I'm gone. Peace out, everyone. Have a good one. See you next time.